Good morning, guys. It is I, Brandon, from Illusions Mobile Auto Spa. How long it has been. So I am working on this really nice pre-owned BMW 650 Xi, and we're going to be doing a full detail today. So this video is going to be kind of like explaining to you how to go ahead and properly clean these rims. So there's many ways you can do it, but I wanted to go ahead and discuss one particular favorite product of mine. So as you guys know, I like to use different products. A particular favorite of mine is the P&S brake buster and stuff like that. But today we're going to be using Adam's wheel and tire cleaner, which is the all-in-one formula. So let's go ahead and get this video started. First thing you want to do is you want to always rinse this wheel off thoroughly, okay? So let's go ahead and start that. If your wheel wells aren't too bad, then you could just really just pressure wash those, okay? You don't need to go too crazy, but they look pretty good from what I'm seeing. So let's go ahead. Let's get this thoroughly sprayed. And be very generous. Don't be cheap. Get your lug nuts. Get on the inside of the rim. What I like about this formula is that as you spray it, it comes out nice and foamy. That way it clings to the surface much better. Because this is an all-in-one formula, it also can be sprayed onto the tire itself. Now, as you notice, the foam is actually starting to turn brown, and that's because it pulls out that browning that you normally see in the tire. If you've ever seen a tire turn brown after the cleaning, this has a particular agent in it that prevents the tire from browning. So that's one thing that I love about this product, and it's effective. Let me go ahead and put my bucket right here so you guys can see. Don't mind if we have people stopping and asking for business cards, because that will happen. So let me go ahead and start with one of my brushes here. I want to just get that on here. What I like to do is I like to stick this into the lug nuts and just twirl it. This method is pretty effective. There are many tools out there that, you know, are made for lug nut cleaning. To each his own. Go ahead and address your other parts of the rim. Every detailer is different. They're going to break down the rim differently, okay? I do small parts at a time to make sure I'm addressing each part of the rim. I have almost a tool for everything. Go ahead. Now, for example, you know, you really want to get into these spokes here, you can go ahead and use a tool like this, little mini speedmaster. You can also use this to get into the lug nuts as well. It's effective. Okay. We're going to use my Daytona speedmaster to actually get inside the rim. Don't worry about the sound, guys. It sounds crazy, but it's not causing any damage. That's just the bristles going against the rotors and stuff. No worries there. Now, this product has a lot of foaming action, a lot of cleaning abilities, but what I will say is that I do not recommend using this in direct sunlight. So if it's like, right now I'm kind of like in the shade, but if it's like 100 degrees outside and you use this in direct sunlight, I mean, I've done it before, it hasn't caused any damage, but, you know, I wouldn't, if you don't know what you're doing, I don't recommend it. So that looks pretty clean there, guys. Now, if you really want to impress the client, you go ahead and you could bend this, all right, just like this, and you get behind there. Right. Literally, if they go to a mechanic and the mechanic takes the wheel off, the mechanic's going to be like, have you ever driven this car before? Because the wheels are spotless. So that's another way to impress the client. Go ahead and straighten that out. And lastly, we are going to go ahead and let me just reactivate this on the wheels one more time here. We're going to go ahead and finish off with cleaning our wheel. And all you see, all that foam that was white and it turned brown, like I said, that's the chemical that's inside the tire that the product is pulling up, and it's also going to prevent it from browning. So when we rinse this off, we're going to have a nice dark tire, and then it'll be ready for dressing of your choice once we dry it. Okay. That looks good. Let's go ahead and rinse. So that is thoroughly rinsed. Let me just go to the van and grab a microfiber towel. Be right back. So here I have microfiber towels, guys, that I've had for quite a while. They've become ineffective with, like, you know, being used on the paint. So I no longer use these for the paint stuff. When they start to become a little bit more on the rough side, then I start to use these for the rims, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and just dry my rims here. You can go ahead and use a air cannon or air blower, whichever you prefer. You can dry it by hand, you know, especially when it comes to getting all the water out of the lug nuts here. But just for demonstration purposes, I just want to go ahead and dry this by hand and show you how thorough I am. Now, for those of you that are wondering, sometimes when you clean a rim, you still have like these little black spots on here. That's actually from the brakes itself, which are kind of like chunks from the brakes. That can easily be taken care of with like an iron particle remover. So if you really want to go the extra mile, and if your client wants to kick out that extra money, then you could go ahead and use an iron remover and let it sit for about 30 seconds, and that'll kind of like pull that right up. Go ahead and wipe the tire here. And here you have it, guys. Nice clean tire. No browning effect afterwards. Tire's nice and clean and ready for dressing. So we'll show you the after results once we finish completing this entire vehicle. You know, I'll show you the dressing part, how to apply that dressing, and you know, how it's going to be like non-sling. So we'll see you in the next parts of this video. So we're back with the second part to our rim cleaning video. So we completed the first part with the Adams wheel and tire cleaning, and of course you see that the wheel is just immaculate, okay? And as I told you, that there was no browning left on the wheel, so that's just fantastic, okay? So what I want to do now is I want to actually protect the rim itself. So we're going to use a product that's made by Adams as well, and this is the Graphene detail spray. What I love about it is that, you know, like I said, you can use this as a clay bar, you know, lubricant, or you can use this as a quick detail for like maybe like a rinseless wash, something like that, and it'll add a little layer of graphene protection. What's great about this is, you know how like when you have to use a sealant or a wax, you got to give it about 6 hours of curing time. This does not need curing time. Once you put this onto the surface and you spray it down with a stream of water, this thing beads like crazy ASAP. So this does not need to cure. So let's go ahead and spray this rim down. And of course, as I said, guys, I don't use brand new microfiber towels on the wheels. These are towels that I have used over time that just have lost their softness, and we're just going to go ahead and use them on the rims, okay? So let's go ahead and spray this. Next. I like to get on the inside of the rim for the client, have that extra added benefit to reduce the amount of brake that's building up. Let's go ahead. Bring that out. Now it helps to have small hands. It's the benefit of me being a mobile detailer because I have small hands. Alright, so that's done. We've added a layer of protection. That'll last a few months. Now, let's go ahead and discuss our choice in tire dressing. Now, many detailers will tell you, hey, oil-based tire dressing is great. Some will say that a water-based dressing is great. Really, it all depends on your preference. My preference would be a water-based dressing, only because I feel that oil-based dressings actually bring out the browning over time. So with water-based, really, that's not going to activate any type of browning in the wheel itself. It's going to keep that nice dark shine. And also, too, the added benefits of water-based dressings is you get protection that helps to water bead create a water beading effect on the tire itself once you have that dressing on there. So one thing I will point out that a lot of detailers fail to mention, okay, and this is something that makes you either a shitty detailer or a great detailer. You have detailers that use Armor All and spray dressings in a spray can, and what they'll do is they'll spray it on the tire itself and Now, what is wrong with that situation? There's multiple reasons. First of all, yes, you have now got a nice tire, all Armor Alled up, but you now have the aerosols that have stained the ground. And sometimes those stains do not come up, especially if that person has like a brick or paved driveway that's like freshly paved. And I have seen it. It will not come off even after pressure washing. And the detailer gets a phone call and it's like, hey, you ruined my driveway. You do not want to get that phone call. Another issue with spraying Armor All in an aerosol can is that those little aerosols, after you have polished and waxed the vehicle and you got it looking great, those aerosols will travel and get onto the windows, the paint, and then when you go to maybe wipe, you'll see streaking and stuff, and there you go. Okay, so really don't recommend aerosols. So what I'm going to use is I have some Rennie Doyle P&S Shine All Performance Dressing in here, again water-based, and I have a regular, I guess you could say tire cleaning brush, very soft bristles. So what I want to do is I want to go ahead and just spray this into the brush here. Okay? And we're going to basically brush this on here. You see that, guys? Look at that. Look how well that is applying. That is applying very well. Just take your time. It's not staining the ground. The aerosols are not going into the air because these are not aerosols. Just want to get the slight rim here, edge. I've been doing this for a very long time, guys, which is why it looks like I'm a perfectionist. Okay. Now, every client has a different preference. Some clients like the shiny dark look, some clients don't like the shiny look at all. So you can actually play around with this dressing. You know, you can leave it as is, or if you would like, after it dries and sets up with that glossy finish, you can go ahead, take an additional microfiber towel and go for that white, and that takes a little bit of the shine off, and what you are left with is just a nice matte satin dark finish. So guys, there you have it. Hope this video has helped you quite a bit. If you have any questions, give us a call at 201-355-9120. Once again, Brandon from Illusions Mobile Auto Spa. Take care.